They lose 10 in a row, 15 total runs scored over that losing streak, 6 in one inning, so very sporadic. 656 team OPS, it's on base percentage plus slugging. That is very bad for those who aren't hip to the baseball metrics. Jack, June has been an absolute disaster for our Cleveland Guardians. July, we're barely into it, but it hasn't been even any more pretty to us. The Detroit Tigers, honestly, you played them pretty damn well. Your pitching was there. You limit the offense, but you're not going to win many games averaging damn 1 run a game.
Before Jack goes off, I do kind of just want to throw like a PSA disclaimer out there that, man, we all feel like all of us in this room feel tremendously bad for the fans, the Guardians fans that are out there. Like, over 1 million people entered and exited that ballpark over the last 365 days. The attendance has been awesome. The viewership, the support, like the opposite of apathy. You know, like the team all the way up through Saturday night in the 9th inning was on their feet, doing the claps, trying to will this team to victory. And boy, has the front office, ownership, the players really just let this fan base down again. This is a franchise and a fan base that's starved for a World Series, hasn't been one since 1948. Don't need to remind you guys of that. And before we get started on kind of our passionate, animated, whatever Jack is going to unfold rant, I do want to just kind of put out there that like the real losers in this are the fans, and I feel the worst for the fans. So without further ado.
Yeah, it's like I don't even have one rant because there's just too many things to hit on. So just as we talk about things, probably I'll get angry at some point in time, but I don't know. Where I'd like to start is I know Luis Ortiz is under investigation right now by Major League Baseball for possibly sports gambling. It's very serious and all, but I think they need to pause that investigation right where it is and keep it in the same clubhouse, but switch it over to the front office, and you need to look into them for tanking immediately because what they're doing with this team is frankly embarrassing at this point. Like you face Scuba earlier this year, right? You get K'd 13 times. I think you get 2 hits. You get shut out. He goes 9 innings, right? You got to think like, hey, they're ahead of us in the division. We got to do anything we can to get back at this guy the next time. Hey, even Lane Thomas gets hurt, right? Like we got a new roster spot here. Like maybe infuse some youth in, do anything, just like kind of turn the season around, guys. And what did they run out yesterday? Like 6-hole Jonathan Rodriguez sucks. 7-hole, don't even know who it was, sucks. Hedges, Rocchio, who was it?
Jack, they had 5 guys in their lineup yesterday hitting below 180.
Isn't it just like embarrassing
180,
at this point, dude?
not
like, it's
200.
Just, it's bad. Like
Jack,
it's very, very bad.
Will Wilson was in the 7-hole. Hedges.
Well,
in the
how
8
is
hole,
Will Wilson hitting in the 7-hole in the major leagues,
and
dude?
Rocchio to top it off?
It's so bad. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it has to be tanking. Like, they have to be tanking. You have to look into them for tanking because there's no other conscious way you can, like...
Bo Naylor, hey, bro, forget how to block for a
Dude,
second.
why is he on the roster, too, at this point? Like, I like Bo Naylor, but he can't hit, and he can't catch. And,
Remember the old...
at?
What was it, Buffalo Wild Wings that did the old series?
Send it to OT.
Overtime, and they would
Yeah,
press
that's
the
what they did
button,
on-
and bad things would continue to happen. That's
Trip
what it
over
was
sprinkler.
like watching the Guardians in the 9th inning and beyond throughout the whole weekend, because the starting pitching gave them a chance in all of those games, and then the bottom of the bag just consistently let loose. And then after the game, you've got Stephen Vogt, continuing to beat the same drum of this is a good baseball team. This is who we are. He's preaching consistency. Like, Steven, I don't think you need to be preaching consistency. Like, you guys are pretty consistent. You're consistently horrible. I think it's time to start preaching that we need to change something up. We need to change our approach. Something's got to change. You can't just keep repeating that you're a good baseball team and that you need to be consistent, because you are consistent. Losing 10 in a row, that is consistent. So something's got to change.
And you're at a point now where over your last 200 games, so this isn't even like the last 10 games a little bit here, you've won 97 of your last 200 games. You're just not a good baseball team at that point. Like, I'm sorry, like, you're not a good baseball team. Like, that is too big of a sample size where there's anything that you could do to reclaim the season at the trade deadline. Like, you got to blow it up, dude. Like, and I'm talking, you might need to, like, blow it up, because there's no short answer here to getting out of it either. Like, you have a bunch of, like, C to B level starting pitchers that are okay, and like they can get it done from here to there, but you have 0 top level starting pitching prospects up above single A anywhere. I mean, we have how many contact hitting infielders do we have who can't even hit for contact?
Well, speaking of contact,
Right?
Jack, why don't, just for a little bit of context, why don't I read some numbers here from our Cleveland Guardians offense? Just 2 players are hitting above 240. You can guess those 2. I'm not going to name them.
Do we have 2 guys hitting above 240?
That's correct.
What a joke.
Well, shout out to Dom Nunez, who has 4 at-bats hitting. Or, excuse me, who has
Don't mention his name on the show ever again.
has,
Just stop. Don't do it.
who has 7 at-bats and has 2 hits. So he's technically hitting 286. So if we don't want to count Dom
All-star.
Nunez.
The thing too, dude, that makes me so mad about this, because I'm a big Guardians fan. Like I didn't grow. I mean, I'm a Browns fan. Don't get me wrong, I'm a massive Browns fan, but like I'm a Guardians guy first and foremost. Like that's where my head lies. Like I always wondered, like, why do people adore the Browns when this team came out and won 90 games every single year? Like you were at a point where you had this fun, endearing playoff run with a young team last year. The whole entire city hated the Browns. Like the Deshaun cloud was massive. Like if they went out and extended Quan or brought in literally one bat or brought back Matthew Boyd, like they had a chance to like really take a stranglehold on the city. Like if they came out and they were 20 games above 500 through the middle of May, like, or whenever the draft comes around, like people, I mean, obviously they're going to flip to the Browns eventually, but like they had a chance to like ingrain themselves to being above 20,000 a night every night. And they lost it. Like it's so bad. Dude, how is Austin Hedges in the lineup still?
So
Jack, the disappointing part about that
He's hitting
is
102.
in our lifetimes,
115.
in our lifetimes, right? And,
Oh, is he?
I get absolutely dragged on social media every time that I say this, but it's truly how I feel. So I'm not going to apologize for saying it, and I'm not going to stop saying it. Through all of our lifetime, 26 years of existence, the Guardians have existed to bridge the gap from Cavs season to football season. You get interested in baseball around June when the Cavs are done. Cavs traditionally throughout all of our lives have had LeBron or have had really good teams where you're interested in basketball until the end of May. And then June comes around, you're interested in the Guards through preseason, which is the first couple of weeks of August. So they usually could bridge the gap to NFL season. This year, they couldn't even muster to do that. This year, they flamed out before they even got through the first week of July. And I think if you were to poll 100 people, Family Feud style, on the streets of Cleveland, they would say that the Guardians are their 3rd favorite team in town. And that's disappointing because there was a time in the 90s when the Browns weren't around and the Cavs were, you know, swirling the toilet of NBA franchises and had LeBron fall into their lap a decade later. There was a time where this was a tribe town.